Will Russia's IL-96-400M beat Boeing or outsmart Airbus? That question is stirring global aviation circles as Russia pushes forward with one of its most ambitious aircraft projects in years. The IL-96-400M is a modernized, stretched version of the older IL-96, and it's being positioned as an alternative to long-haul giants like the Boeing 777 and Airbus A350. With increasing sanctions and reduced access to Western technology, Russia is doubling down on domestic development. But does this aircraft truly stand a chance in a market dominated by established players? The IL-96-400M is designed to seat over 400 passengers and travel up to 10,000 kilometers nonstop. That range covers major intercontinental routes, such as Moscow to New York or Beijing to Los Angeles. On paper, the aircraft matches or even exceeds the specs of older Boeing 747 variants. However, the aircraft still relies on 4PS-90A engines, which raises immediate concerns. In a world where airlines are aggressively cutting fuel costs, most wide-bodies today rely on more efficient twin-engine designs. Boeing's 787 and Airbus's A350 both use two ultra-efficient engines, reducing maintenance, emissions, and operating costs. Here's where the IL-96-400M gets strategic. Russia's United Aircraft Corporation isn't just building for airlines. They're building for resilience. The IL-96-400M is about self-sufficiency in aviation. After being cut off from new deliveries and support from Western manufacturers, Russia needed an independent path to maintain and grow its long-haul fleet. The IL-96-400M isn't just a product, it's a policy move. It reflects Moscow's determination to reduce reliance on foreign suppliers and maintain control of its critical aviation infrastructure. But how does it really compare in terms of performance and modern features? The aircraft has upgraded avionics, more advanced materials, and a stretched fuselage that allows for higher passenger capacity. These improvements do help it catch up in some ways, but it's still limited by older engine technology. Russia is currently developing the PD-35 engine, a next-generation turbofan intended to rival the General Electric G9X or the Rolls-Royce Trent XWB. If the PD-35 enters service and meets performance targets, Russia may re-engine the IL-96-400M into a twin-engine platform, dramatically improving its fuel economy. Until then, airlines outside Russia may be hesitant. One reason is certification. Without European Union Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, or Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, certification, the IL-96-400M can operate freely in U.S. or EU airspace. That limits its appeal to countries with close ties to Russia or those with fewer aircraft options. But the geopolitical divide is also shifting global aviation dynamics. Countries under sanctions or seeking alternatives to U.S. and EU influence may welcome the IL-96-400M not for performance alone, but as a strategic aviation partner. Now let's consider passenger experience. Western aircraft offer advanced cabin pressure systems, quieter engines, better humidity levels, and higher fuel efficiency, which all translate to improved comfort. The IL-96-400M does include interior updates and enhanced avionics, but whether it can match the comfort of a Dreamliner or A350 remains unclear. Russian operators may focus more on durability and local serviceability than luxury experience. That could make it attractive for government use, cargo conversion, or charter operations, especially in remote or underdeveloped regions. And then there's cost. The IL-96-400M may offer lower acquisition prices than Boeing or Airbus jets, especially with state backing. For buyers in Asia, Africa, or Latin America, that's a potential advantage. If Russia offers financing deals and maintenance support, it could create a niche market. It won't overthrow Boeing or Airbus overnight, but it may weaken their grip on certain emerging markets. That's not competition, it's erosion. And erosion over time is what turns cracks into collapse. You might be asking yourself, will airlines really take the risk? That depends on political alignment, access to alternatives, and how quickly Russia can deliver and scale. But one thing's certain, the IL-96-400M is no longer just a relic of Soviet design. It's a signal. Russia is rebuilding its aviation independence, step by step, engine by engine. And while it may not beat Boeing or outsmart Airbus today, it is a calculated move in a larger aviation chessboard. The IL-96-400M isn't built to win the popularity contest. It's built to serve a national agenda. It's meant to fill a void left by sanctions, challenge Western supply chains, and create new aviation alliances. It may fly fewer passengers than a 777X or burn more fuel than an A350, but it answers a different question. What does it mean for a country to fly on its own terms? If you're watching this far, then you know this isn't just about one plane. It's about an entire shift in global aviation. So what happens next? Will Russia complete the PD-35 engine in time? Will buyers line up from regions beyond U.S. influence? Or will the IL-96-400M fade like its predecessors? Subscribe to Skyline now and stay with us as we track what could be one of the most underestimated moves in modern aviation. Leave a comment. Do you think the IL-96-400M is a game changer or just a geopolitical symbol?